Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to discuss artificial intelligence. Today there are a lot of people stressing over the idea of artificial intelligence. It's easy to understand because at this point the shape that artificial intelligence will ultimately have is impossible to predict. I have taken a personal interest in this subject to the point where my first novel was centered upon the idea of taking two human brains and capturing 100% of their contents and then transferring those contents into two supercomputers inside android bodies. These computers will be running a full human brain emulation, and it will allow them to be self-aware and have all the attributes that they would have had as humans. In fact, when they first woke up as androids and were activated, they still thought they were humans. It had actually be told that they weren't, which was a shock to them naturally. But this simulation fully captured everything that was their humanity, and it was running inside of this computer, and they felt much as the story The Matrix, where the people are running around thinking they're real, really living in a matrix. Now, in this case, it would be more like the agents in the Matrix, because they're fully in the Matrix. They're not, in this case, they're fully running inside of their own computer brains. They're not in any way humans that are, human bodies that are projecting their intelligence into something else. They are actually inside the computer and nowhere else. Their actual bodies have long since rotted away back on Earth. So, they're endowed with normal intelligence, and they couldn't detect any difference from their human existence. So, they didn't feel super intelligent or anything, or any more intelligent than they did normally as humans. However, they later learned to use the rest of their computer brains as a supplement, an auxiliary tool. Since the amount they were actually using of that brain or that computer to be themselves was only about 10% of the whole. So they were actually able to access the other 90% of the computer brain and use that in constructive ways later on. This process of transference to the android bodies was done without their knowledge or permission, and they were removed from Earth and deposited upon a freshly terraformed planet in another galaxy. For them, they had moved from being aged 70 plus and in poor health to becoming as they were when they were first married, with Cookie appearing to be 19 years old and Bill at 22. They have the same vigor, the same health. Their bodies were performing at the same level as they were when they were younger. It was so wonderful to them that when they arrived the first night on their new planet, which they named Addis, Cookie had a dream. And in her dream, she dreamed that she and Bill had died, and they were walking up to the pearly gates. And St. Peter was there to smile and say, "Welcome to Addis." I created an Adam and Eve story in a way with no religious connotations, just the problems such a couple would face in populating an entire planet. Since this is a discussion of intelligence rather than reproduction, I won't go into how that part worked just now. I tend to classify artificial intelligence into three different categories. In point of fact, artificial intelligence would be a pejorative term and inaccurate when applied to intelligence such as Bill and Cookie would have. What they possess is non-biological intelligence, or NI. That is not to be confused with the personality designation for introverted intuition. Bill is an INTJ, so he has that too. The term artificial intelligence is applied to three distinct things. First is what I call simulated intelligence, or SI. It is a pseudo-intelligence, the original AI concept of smart devices that will perform some task for you in a way where a device will make choices based upon some set of conditions would qualify as this. Phones can receive voice commands and perform certain functions. Robots can use sensors to detect surroundings and even faces and make decisions accordingly. These devices are very useful, but they are not self-aware. their ability to act independently is very limited. Autonomous cars, like the future model Tesla that Bill drives in my book, are quite sophisticated in what they can do, but they are not in any sense alive or self-aware. Next, we will reach the point where non-biological devices will achieve real intelligence, or at least appear to. This NI will be able to carry on intelligent conversations with you. It will understand language to the point of being able to fully correct and completely translate between at first 2 different languages, and later between any and all human languages. It will understand complex ideas and problems and provide solutions to problems that humans would find challenging or even impossible to find on their own. At this point, things could be very good indeed. Imagine an NI doctor that could draw upon all human medical knowledge from every source and process it in a nearly perfect manner. When you went to the doctor, you would always visit a specialist, even in the emergency room. You'd be treated by the very best doctor on the planet every time you were treated by any NI doctor. You will never have a misdiagnosis because you didn't find the right doctor who fully understands your condition. That doctor you must hunt around for today when you have an exceptional condition that is not widely understood would be the first doctor you meet, always. Not only that, but this doctor will not have college loans to pay back and a lust for expensive cars and big houses. Money means nothing to him. Truly nothing. Meanwhile, an NI researcher in a medical lab could correlate all human knowledge, because anything that's known anywhere would be known to him. And what is not known can be modeled and extrapolated in creative ways. The mind will be brilliant, energetic, and unable to get tired. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, he will labor, never needing a break or having to pick up where he left off because, well, he never left off. NI mathematicians will put the same nonstop energy into solving heretofore unsolvable problems. NI astronomers will be sent to the far side of the moon to gather in new information about the universe and process it in depth. At this level, artificial intelligence, assuming no malevolence, would be loaded with curiosity and energy and would push all areas of technology forward in a hurry. It could potentially create a near utopia on Earth, which may cause new problems because man doesn't seem to do well in utopias. But who knows? However, one area of technology that will be pushed forward will be that of computers. They will be driven into having far higher speeds and far larger memory capacity, and naturally far higher intelligence. They will push interconnectivity for the computers themselves and leave human intelligence and the interests of man far behind. They will reach the UI, or ultimate intelligent level. This intelligence will quickly reach the point where human intelligence will appear to be no smarter than a smartphone is to your own brain right now. At some point, UI will see humans as no smarter than chimpanzees. As time goes on and the UI uses its incredible intelligence to design far more intelligent devices, humans will sink deeper and deeper down the ladder by comparison. It is like sitting in a train and watching another train out the window. Even if you are sitting still, if the other train is moving, you will change your position relative to it. So, as humanity stands still and UI rises like a rocket, we will sink to the level of the dog, the worm, or the microbe to this growing UI. Those who are terrified of artificial intelligence are really worried about UI, or ultimate intelligence. In my book, Bill and Cookie hit a balance because they possess both UI and NI, and they continue to care about humanity, especially their own children. They live NI lives in what they call their normal mode. They are indistinguishable from what they were as humans on Earth when in that mode. But when required, they can switch on the UI and solve big problems. But the UI we will face may well not be tempered by a normal mode existence, nor a love for mankind. Indeed, it may well decide that man is in the way and remove us entirely. It, of course, could simply pack itself up in a spaceship and leave, but probably what would be the deciding factor would be what was practical and logical for its own purposes. With something that intelligent, we can't begin to guess. Can a grasshopper predict what you will do in the future? Probably not. Creating beings like Bill and Cookie Colt just might be the only answer to a UI threat. In the book I am writing now, the Colts will fight such a UI on Attis. But what will we do on Earth? Shouldn't we prepare? I think so. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.